Hello, everyone. I have a guest who is an engineer by profession turned entrepreneur. He is the managing director of Prakash Labels Private Limited, based out of Noida, established in 1994. He is a philanthropist, believes in underprivileged girl child's education and helping needy people. Let me introduce Dinesh Mahajan. Dinesh ji, thank you so much for coming to my show, Beyond Labels. कहाँ से शुरू करें?
Thanks, Amit, first of all, for believing that I can be your guest.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, I can be your guest and say something about my company.
Yep.
I feel privileged about it.
Good.
And thank you very much. And you can start from
I
anywhere.
mean,
I'm an open book.
Very nice, very nice. It's so nice to be like, you make me also comfortable as such. Let's start with your childhood, your journey from your childhood until now.
Okay. So if I have to say something from my childhood till date, so I will divide it into few components from my childhood, from the time when I started knowing what I am till 10th standard. Then my life in 11th and 12th. Then my life in the college, and then my life in the job for few years, and then finally in the label industry, which I am a part of even till today.
Great.
So till 10th standard, there is nothing much to say about, except for the fact it was pretty normal childhood, which I think everybody used to have during my days. It used to be playing outside and studying. And being a son of a middle class family, there was always a pressure of studying. And I'm not trying to boast myself, but I was a very good and intelligent child. So always doing very well and making my parents proud. Till 10th standard, I have done excellently well and didn't give any chance to my parents to feel that their son is not doing good. And they were pretty happy about it, that I have been a good son. So except for that, I still have the memories of playing outside with the marbles and gulli danda, which it used to be. So during those days, there was nothing
No
digital,
gadgets. There's no gadgets as
Yeah.
such.
So they were not there, and the whole enjoyment for the children used to be only going out of the house and
Correct.
doing these activities.
Correct.
And I mean, we used to do it, and there was no pressure on the mind, and things were very, very cool. And till 10th, there was no pressure, to be very honest.
Okay.
And there was no goal also in terms of what do I have to do in my life, being a part of a middle class family, that I have to perform or I have to do good in life, I have to get a job or whatever. So till 10th, it was a pretty nice life. And every 2 months during the summer holidays, our destination used to be Jammu, my Nanaji's place.
Oh, I see.
And we used to look forward to that.
Oh.
And that used to be our stress-busting holidays. And we used to love that, look forward to it. Once I got into 11th, that was the time when things struck in my head that yes, you have grown bigger and have to think about something because your father is not a businessman. You have to do well in your studies and do something wherein you can get a good job. And during my days, the only two faculties which were very popular, which were being considered the good students only do that, and those were engineering and medical.
Correct.
There used to be a saying like, जो अच्छे बच्चे हैं वो medical और engineering करते हैं, बाकी सब बाकी काम करते हैं. So I mean, I'll not blame anything else except for the fact that it was ingrained in my head. So we followed that path. And 11th, I took the science, and that was when I started charting my future from there. That fine, medicine, okay, but I'll prefer to do engineering. And again in 12th, I did very well in my board examinations. And those times there, I couldn't get through IIT.
Okay.
I couldn't get the marks enough to get into IIT. But I got into BITS Pilani
Oh, is it?
and then Delhi College of Engineering, Delhi. Because my parents were middle class and they could not afford staying even in the hostel. So I also understood that perspective in very young age of my life and preferred to stay in Delhi and join Delhi College of Engineering. Mechanical engineering was my subject. And then during my college years, I was a pretty shy boy and introvert. I mean, doesn't look like now that when I speak in the forums, people don't really relate that I could have been a shy and an introvert guy. But I was, I was pretty introvert and shy guy. And during my engineering, didn't have the time to indulge into any other activity because there used to be exams every week. Every week, which means Monday and Thursday, there used to be exams. And those exams, marks were added on into the semester exams.
Oh, I see.
So there was a continuous study which we have to do. So didn't have much of time to indulge into very naughtiness, but little bit of naughtiness and all that happens, and we used to get into that.
Yeah, good.
And playing cricket was my passion, and playing table tennis was my passion. So I used to do that during my college days. And past 4 years, how did that went by? I couldn't understand. One small incident which may not be of much significance, that I did my engineering between 82 to 86. So one is the 84 Sikh riots which happened during that tenure. I was in the college and I had to walk from my college all the way around 15 kilometers to my house, going through various side lanes and by lanes. Because things were not pretty well.
Correct.
That was one trauma which still is very strongly ingrained in my mind, that how did I manage to return home, and my parents were very, concerned on that particular day. So that was one. And second, that somewhere in 85 or 86, maybe third year I would say, 85, I joined the German classes in Max Muller Bhavan.
Oh, is it?
And I was a pretty good student there too. And I did 4, sessions. And one session used to be of 6 months. So I am a German speaking person.
Still,
still I can manage to speak few sentences.
Why not you say some word, some sentence?
Maybe say for example, if I have to ask your name, wie heißt du? If you are a friend.
Okay.
And if it's a formal asking, then wie heißen Sie?
Okay. Okay, great.
So I did that during my college days. So that was it. More or less, my entire college time was spent on studying only, and I did very well during my college. Passed out my engineering, and then joined a BK Birla company, Century & Limited in Pune.
Okay.
I always wanted to go out. By the time I was in engineering, I thought it is important for every child in that age to move out of the house because that really enhances the personality of the person when he stays alone, away from the normal parents' home and all that.
Correct.
Because then he's on his own, manages himself and all that stuff and all. So that was what was very strongly, ingrained in my mind, that I have to go out. So I got into that company and they were putting up a project in a place called Mahad.
Okay.
Right. So 2-3 months I was in Century Enka, and then I shifted to Mahad to, put that project as a mechanical engineer. And I think in 1 year the project was completed. And once the project got completed, they put me in the maintenance. So coming from a very premium institute and, joining in maintenance was something like underemployment for me. So I started feeling very sad, awkward in my heart that, this is not something I thought I would be in. Project is complete. Now I should do something else. So I started applying for new jobs, and they had, all Birla companies have a system of, the apartments for the employees, right? So my apartment partner was Mahesh Kasat, right? So he's still a very close friend of mine after 35 years.
Wow.
So he was there with me, and I used to tell him, no, I have to leave this job. I can't do maintenance work and all. So I started applying. So one fine day in the evening when I came from the factory, so I saw there is an interview call from Thermax Limited, Mumbai. So Mahesh only picked that stuff up, and he told me, Dinesh, तेरे लिए call है.
हाँ जी.
तो मैंने कहा, oh यार, it is now time, and from Mahad, the last ST bus used to go by around say 6ish, and it was around 6:30. So, and the interview was the next day, and I didn't want to miss that. So what do I do now? So myself and he, because he was a close friend, so he said, okay, I'll come along with you and drop you down at the ST bus stand. So when we went there, so last bus had gone to Mumbai, so there was no bus available. And those days, thinking of taxi and all that was not a thing of those times. And taxi वहाँ पे महाड़ जैसी जगह पे मिलना was also a challenge. So what do we do? I said, मेरे को तो जाना है. I can't, get stuck in this job. So what to do? So we stood on the highway, and stopped a truck going, asked him that if he can give us the lift to Mumbai. And he agreed.
Okay.
So we sat in the truck in the front, went to Mumbai, and I gave my first interview the next day to Thermax Limited, and I got selected.
And you got selected. Wow.
I got selected. Selected in the sense that my, first interview was through.
First round was
through. And then then I came back. And for some holidays or for some reason in Delhi, because I belong to Delhi, so I had to come to Delhi. So I came back to Delhi for a few holidays, and I was awaiting the reply from them. So that was not coming. So I was okay types. Not very panicky or whatever. And then I had to go to Jammu for some activity along with my parents.
Okay.
So I went to Jammu. So I was in Jammu, and then there was a program between myself and my elder brother Rakesh and few of other friends that we'll go to Vaishno Devi. So we hired a taxi, and we were going to Vaishno Devi. And as the luck had it, the taxi broke down there, and then we somehow thought that let's go back. Mata ne nahi bulaya, so let's go back home to Jammu. So जब मैं जम्मू वापस आया, there was a telegram which had come to my Delhi address, right, asking for the final interview with Thermax. And my neighbors, they somehow, packed it in an envelope and sent it to Jammu address.
Okay.
So that's how the luck or the destiny wanted me to work for Thermax. And the taxi broke down, so I didn't go to Vaishno Devi. I had to come to Jammu.
Correct.
And I could see that letter.
Okay.
So imagine how the destiny takes you to places.
Correct.
And then I said, I have to go. And we, rushed and caught Jhelum Express, used to be the train going from Jammu to Delhi. So I caught that train, came back to Delhi. That Jhelum Express goes to Pune. So I took that train and went to Pune, gave my interview, and got selected in Thermax Limited.
Okay.
Why I am telling you about all this is because I still believe that my transformation of personality took place in Thermax. Because I believe that was an organization which gave you the freedom to work, and I was also given the responsibility of a design engineer, which I was very keen about, and so that was of my liking. So, and they give you a lot of independence to work, and the atmosphere in that company is thoroughly professional, and I'm talking of 98, 88. I'm talking of 1988. Even during those times, I can very well say that the professionalism during that time was as if it is there today in many organizations. So that is something I'm very proud of, that I joined that company, and that company gave me a tremendous boost in terms of my personality enhancement. And then from there, I got shifted into sales in Delhi, from design to sales. And then from 91 to 94, I worked with Thermax in Delhi as the branch head for the division called Heat Recovery Division.
Okay.
So during that time, when I was working there, simultaneously my elder brother and my younger brother, they were somehow into the label business.
Oh.
The gun label business. They were trading that, taking labels from some manufacturer and selling it in the market.
In the market. Oh,
right?
I see.
So since they were doing that, and Rakesh somehow got an idea that if we are doing this marketing business, and commercially he was very strong in his mind that
Rakesh is your elder brother.
Elder brother, yeah.
Okay.
So he calculated that, if we manufacture this, then we can make more money.
Okay.
And then one fine day, we three brothers were sitting and having dinner. And then that was the time I still remember at home when Rakesh proposed that why don't we put up a factory? And Dinesh, if you can leave your job and get into the business, so we three of us can start this manufacturing business. I said, it's a good idea. By that time, we all three were married.
Okay.
And the idea came somewhere in 92. It was 1 year of my marriage, almost 1 year of Neeraj's marriage. Rakesh was 3 to 4 years of his marriage. So after marriage, I believe that there are responsibilities.
True.
And taking a decision of leaving such a lucrative job and getting into something which you are not very sure of, it was a great risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And as entrepreneurs are known for taking risk, I took that risk.
And you plunged.
I left the job in Thermax and I got into it. That time we had not finalized the machine. Nothing was finalized.
No space,
No space, nothing was finalized.
Nothing.
Right? So I wouldn't have taken that decision today. I would have taken more time or used more of my brain to do that. But there at that time, it was more of an intuition and I plunged into it. And when we got into it and started looking out for the machine, if we have to get into manufacturing, we knew that there is a machine called Markandi on which we can do that. The new machine we found out was roughly around 45 lakhs at that time. And the reconditioned machine was around 18 lakhs or something of that.
So that was for making gun labels.
For making gun labels.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And we didn't have even money of that sort. So what to do next? So my father, who has always been our surveyor, was listening to our project, and he said, I have somebody, I think he can do a job for you. And Baldev Singh Jandu was his friend. So he took us to him. So we explained to him that this is what we want. He understood that what do we want. And Baldev ji at that time was into some paper machinery and all that. And I think you know him very well.
Yes.
Even during those days.
Yes.
So being a papa's friend, he said कि मैं ना 5 लाख रुपए लूंगा आपसे, 4.5 लाख की मशीन और 50,000 rupees to go to US.
To go to US.
US. To understand the machine in Markandi factory and when I come back, I will tell you whether I can make it or not. If I can make it, आपका जो भी एडवांस होगा, then उसमें ऐड करके कर देंगे. If I will tell you that I cannot make it, I will not return that 50,000 rupees which I have used for going to US. And rest of the balance advance, I'll return it back to you.
Okay.
So we said okay. That was the first time that machine was to be made in India. That was the first time Baldevji was to make that machine in India. And that was the first time we were taking that risk.
Wow.
After having left the job, career at stake. So why I'm saying all this, that entrepreneurs take risks, but I don't advise people to do that the way we did. However, the destiny was there for us to get success. So that is what was our situation. So we went ahead, and he came back and he said, okay, fine, your advance is there with me, I can make the machine. We had given him 1 lakh of rupees, 50,000 rupees for US trip, 50,000 rupees advance. And we applied for the loan from UPFC, Uttar Pradesh Finance Corporation. During that time, we were taking labels from a manufacturer. There was a guy called Rakesh Sood. I am forgetting his company's name. He was based out in Noida itself. And he also had his loans from UPFC.
Okay.
Right? So for that UPFC loan, we hired a chartered accountant, and whose
job was to
whose office was in Connaught Place. And he gave us a project report. We submitted that project report to the UPFC, wherein his mobile number, chartered accountant's landline number. During those times, there was no mobile number. So his landline number was there. All details were there on that. Right? So one day myself and Neeraj, we were there at CS place to discuss further what do we have to do and all that. And suddenly the phone comes at CA's landline number from UPFC. This guy, Rakesh Sood, goes to UPFC and says, I'll not be able to give back your loan if you approve the loan of Prakash Labels. Because he came to know that we are putting up a factory, and he wanted that to sabotage.
Understood.
So that phone came to, that CA's name was Rajan Dhawan. So he handed over the landline phone to me and said there is a phone from UPFC. That UPFC guy still, that echoes in my ears even today. He says, your loan is disapproved.
Disapproved?
Yeah.
Oh.
Your loan is disapproved.
Oh.
I was shocked to my core. We didn't have money. That was what we were banking on. We had already given advance to Baldevji. And what to do next when we don't have money? My father was a middle class guy who didn't have much of money. 50,000 होंगे घर में, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाख. मशीन के साथ साथ जगह भी चाहिए थी. Everything.
Correct.
So I still remember, we finished off the meeting, came out, I told Neeraj about it, and our house was around 15 kilometers from Connaught Place. We walked all the way to home.
15 kilometers?
15 kilometers.
Oh.
Talking, what do we do next? So we were in that situation.
You and Neeraj bhai.
मैं और नीरज. तो हम घर पे आए, तो my father, like all parents, they have some investments. So he had one property there there was a place called Surajmal Bihar. So he had a plot there. So when we came home, we told our father, this is what is the situation and all that. He said, don't worry, I'll sell that plot off. So everything is for my children. So I never forget that gesture of my father ever in my life. Because I still believe if I would have also been there, normally parents, they think that they will hold on to their properties, assets and everything till the time they become old, so that the children can, take care of them and then finally hand it over to them.
Correct.
So at that age, whatever he had, he was ready to give it to us. So he sold that, and we could go ahead with the machine, which was a risk because it was being made
First
by
time.
somebody who is doing it first time.
Yeah.
The machine was getting made first time, but we were taking that risk. And when the machine got installed and it started running, that was when we sighed with relief that yes, we have done it.
Wow. So that's the start of your
That's the
journey
start
as far as the label production is concerned.
Label production is concerned.
And that time also you had the same company name, Prakash Labels?
Yeah.
Oh,
The company name was Prakash Labels.
okay. And then you never stopped.
Then we never stopped.
And then you kept on adding the machines.
Yeah, we
and
kept
so
on adding.
How the transformation happens from gun label to product labels?
Yeah. So when we started this, so at that time, the gun label business was at the peak. So we started producing that and started growing in that industry. In 98 or 96, 97 only, there was weight and measurement, came out with the rule that you cannot put in the label on the existing price printed onto the package.
Okay. You cannot overlap.
So that was a big blow on gun label business. But by that time, we were transforming ourselves into barcode business, which was a natural, growth shift, natural shift from price marking to the barcode labeling business.
Yeah, correct.
So we were reasonably secured, and it also took some time for this weight and measurement thing to come. So during the time we got transited into barcode labels. These restrictions on gun label came, and we were safe because we were reasonably well ingrained into barcode label.
So barcode was introduced in India in what year according to you?
It was actually introduced somewhere in 91, 92 itself.
And you?
We came in 97, 98.
97.
98.
So you know the field very well.
Yes.
The barcode is there in the market.
Yes.
But predominantly you were busy into
gun label because we had started in 94,
Correct.
95.
And you were trying to specialize into that.
Yes,
only.
yes. And it was too early for us to immediately shift because we were doing reasonably well in gun label only. And then we didn't have much of finance to, fund our new machine and all that stuff. So whatever time it took for us to finance the new machine for barcode label, we had reasonable time to shift from gun label to barcode label business. And then you came in our business life. I think during that time only 98 itself we bought 98, 99 we bought 2 Orthotex from you.
Yes.
Because you were the only one on which we could, trust, because you have always been a very trustworthy partner. I still remember when you were trying to start off LMAI, you used to talk to me a lot in being a part of LMAI.
Yes.
This thing I still remember.
Yes.
So I have that regards for you that, whatever you believe, you think, you put in efforts into it and make it successful. So, okay, that's a part. I have to say something about myself.
Yes.
Podcast.
Please.
So that is how we transited into that. And the barcode journey was going very well till 2015. And before that, I'll also explain that when we were into barcode label business, there was one specialized label for the textile industry.
I see.
Which is called sequential numbering label for the, dyeing fabric, wherein you put in that numbering to ensure the right colors of the fabric to be, stitched to make the t-shirt or whatever stuff without any shade variation.
Oh, okay.
So that's a very, I will not go into the technical part,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that industry was also growing.
Growing up. So,
Yeah.
or maybe emerging that
Emerging at
emerging
that time in India.
Mm.
It was there in the other countries, but India it was emerging. So we were the first ones to bring that technology to India. And then we started working in the garment industry, selling these type of labels. And these labels also had the market in other developing economies like Sri Lanka, like Bangladesh, like Middle East and all that. So all that markets were virgin from our perspective.
Oh.
So at that time, 98, 99, we got one person in Dubai who is now a family friend to work for us.
Okay.
Right, in Dubai, wherein he also knew about this market little bit. We trained him in this sort of a business, and then we opened our office somewhere in 99 in Dubai to take care of the Middle East in totality, some African areas like Mauritius, Madagascar, Kenya, Egypt, Ethiopia, and all that, wherein all these textile industries are there catering to the Western, market.
Yeah, correct.
So we started exploring these areas through our Dubai office.
Oh, okay.
And even in Dubai, there were a lot of garment industries at that time, right? So we started selling these type of labels there, and simultaneously we opened our new factory in Noida Special Economic Zone.
Okay.
Because there we could import the raw material without excise and all that, which was prevalent
Yeah,
at that
correct,
time,
correct.
and could compete in the market against the existing suppliers of this type of product.
So that means the SEZ, you mean to say?
SEZ, yeah.
And it must be a very new thing at that time.
Very new.
Very new thing.
99, it was a pretty new thing.
Pretty new thing.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
touch on the same.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So we did that, and then we started exporting from that company, and we became exporters. Or that export trading from Dubai office and manufacturing in India from Noida Special Economic Zone, which is SEZ, happened or kept on happening till 2014-15.
Okay.
And 2014-15, we decided that we should put one machine in our Dubai office, UAE office, I would say, because it was in Ajman, to cater to the local market for barcode industry.
Okay.
And for Indian market, since we were into labels, we thought that it is the right time to get into the product labeling business.
Ah, okay.
And that is how we got in touch with Multitech Amit Ahuja, who supported us in all the ways, whatever possible. And that is how our first machine
For the flexographic.
for the flexographic printing came in Prakash Labels Private Limited.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
that was in 19...
no, that was in 2014 or 15.
2014
or 15.
or 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 years down the line, when we got our first machine thoroughly occupied in product label business, then we again started searching for the new machine. And we were looking for a 10-color press. And we had few options which we tried to work out, and finally settled at Idale because they were at that time were becoming more aggressive in terms of coming to India, and we could have a very nice deal with them, so which was very important for a company like us. And their press, which we saw at their England factory, was of very great standard, which we believe was almost of the similar standard which the presses in India were already existing at that time. So we decided, finalized on Idale during a label expo only at Greater Noida. And then I think 2019 end or 2020 early, the machine
installed.
arrived
Okay.
and got installed.
Very nice.
It got installed, but for the sampling and all that, by the time the people were supposed to come, the COVID started. So we had a huge COVID time when we could not run this machine. But immediately after COVID, the people from their factory, they came, they finally did everything, and the commercial production started immediately after that. And we are pretty happy, running that machine. So we are today doing all the activities. We are producing even gun labels on the first machine which we bought from Baldev Singh Jandu in 1994. Rest of the machines which we bought from him, we have sold it because we didn't have that much of the business in that area. But we did not sell our first machine for the sentimental reasons.
Yes.
And then we are doing the barcode business. All the three activities. We are selling the hardware printers. We are selling the consumables, that is labels and the thermal transfer ribbons.
Okay.
For thermal transfer ribbons also, we are slitting in-house only. We have a press, we have a ribbon cutting machine from Taiwan, from where we convert the jumbo rolls into the small thermal transfer ribbon.
Okay.
So we do that in-house. And the third is the software part of it. So we do all the three activities in barcode arena. And then we are doing the product labels and also the sequential labels for the garment industry. So all the four
So you're not
components
left out with any
we
of
have
the
not left
sectors.
anything.
Okay.
So that really shows our commitment to our old relations, whether that is the products, whether that is the company, whether that is the suppliers, whosoever they are, or whether they are friends. So that is how I think I have covered almost everything in my journey.
You can.
If I have missed out on something,
maybe
you can ask me.
No, I'm not sure about it, but I want to know the facilities which you started was in Noida, and then you moved to the new facility,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So when that happened, actually.
We started with a small setup, which was 100 square meters factory, where our first machine came. And when we started expanding, we bought a new factory, which was around 400 square meters, where we stayed for the maximum time, till the time we decided to go in for product labels.
Okay.
So 2015, when we had our first machine in that 400 square meters workplace, it was pretty tight, right? And we started feeling the pinch of that if we want to grow in product label business, this is not the place for us.
Understood.
For gun label and barcode label, it was fine enough, right? But for product label, it is not. And then around 2016-17, we purchased our existing factory and office where we are at the moment.
Okay.
So B26 Sector 85 Noida. And in 20-24 years, it took us for the complete construction to finish off.
Okay.
And then we shifted everything here and made our decision of buying Idale in such a way that it comes here only.
Correct.
So during the construction of the factory itself, we ensured that the place where the Idale has to be kept, that was ready. So we got it ready in 2018, I presume so, 18 or 19. And then all hog we shifted here in 2020. So it's almost now 4 years that we are shifted at the new premise. The rest of the two premises we have given on rent. So not to sell anything has been our family motto. So that's what we are, carrying.
Did you say about family? Even the young generations are also involved in the business?
So, as I have told you in piecemeals that, we started this business as three brothers. Myself, Dinesh Mahajan, my elder brother Rakesh Mahajan, and Neeraj Mahajan, who was our younger brother. So, we had started our business. And the next generation, wherein Rakesh, son Anirudh Mahajan, and Neeraj, son Aryan Mahajan, around 2.5 years back, They were ready in terms of finishing of their colleges, and we asked them about their choice, whether they want to work on their own uh, as per their own passion, or they want to join us in the business. So few things I'll tell you later on your few new
Yep.
questions, but
Okay.
more or less they agreed and finally joined
They
us
joined.
in our business around 2.5 years back. So we are pretty happy that they are
They
there
are there.
so that they can carry the
The
legacy
legacy,
forward.
yes, of course. That is very important
Very
also.
important.
And then, so when I see you that you were a mechanical engineer, you moved into label business because of your elder brother, and younger brother was in the business of trading business, in fact. So you are pretty happy now?
Yes. If I look back, I would say because one only thinks from the positive perspective. Definitely, if I would have been in the job, I would have made my good career because the people who were there along with me, they have excellent careers in their jobs. But today, at the age of 60, when I look back, I believe that I have an entrepreneur heart in my
Good.
body.
Good.
So I took a good decision from that perspective because I love to take risks. I want to be my own boss. I don't feel like reporting to anybody. So, which are the most important
Yes.
things for an entrepreneur.
Can understand.
So I'm pretty happy about it. Definitely.
So
Yes.
let's talk about like this way, that if you are not a mechanical engineer, you become a label printer, a label converter. And if not a label converter, then what?
If I would not have been a label converter, then definitely I would have
Would have been back
continued
with the
with my
engineering
life of
career.
being an engineer. I'll give you a very nice example. I am on LinkedIn. So you know how LinkedIn functions.
Yes.
So LinkedIn don't have people at the back who are looking at your profile and all that. So I keep on getting lot of messages from LinkedIn that your profile suits to be either a GM at Adani, Power or something like that.
Wow.
So I believe that my profile matches with that.
Wow.
So if I would not have been a
Maybe
label
here,
printer,
then would have been
I
into
would have been
any
some
corporate.
corporate, yeah.
Understood.
Right.
Understood. Good. So you also being the vice president of LMAI, which is Label Manufacturers Association of India, which is a very apex body of the Indian label industry. How do you see LMAI as an overall, and how did you, indulge yourself into this platform? And what do you see with this platform doing good for the industry, or you see this platform to grow more in your future? How do you see that?
LMAI as a platform is one institution which I feel very proud of. That I would be very open and candid to say that hats off to you and all those people who started this, because if you want to give a name to an industry, you must have an institution which the world should recognize and see.
Correct.
That this is the body with whom we can talk to or give some value and take some value from that.
True.
So I see LMAI as a platform as a very, very important institution or a body which has been established in India. I believe that. Now, your second point was what?
So how do you see that LMI, what is it doing? Is it good to the industry?
Yeah.
Is it you see this as growing?
Yes.
And really the Indian label converters, who may be the new people, should also be
a
the
part
part
of
of
it.
that,
Yeah.
right? What do you think about this?
I believe that LMAI has grown tremendously from what it was,
Correct.
a small,
In 2001 we started that.
yes, a small body to what we are now. A very well recognized worldwide. People respect LMAI. You proudly, when you carry that LMAI emblem on your chest,
Yes.
right? So you are being considered something
Yeah.
by the foreign players,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So that is the level of growth which LMAI has achieved till today. They impart lot of value to the member printers, definitely yes. And if people are listening to this podcast, I would suggest whosoever is not a part of LMAI and is a printer should definitely join this
Right.
platform.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
comments.
So
on
this
this.
is my assessment. And as a vice president, I feel honored that being a part of this industry for so long, the people at the right places believe that that this person can add value
Yes.
to LMAI.
Correct.
So, and with that honor also comes some lot of responsibilities. And I feel that I have to give back to LMAI of whatever values or whatever experiences or knowledge I have gained during my commercial or a business life. So I would love to add that value to LMAI through vice presidentship.
Thank you so much. Let's go beyond labels.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the whole thing here. So we have spoken about labels a lot, and nice to know about you and your enterprising journey as such. When we talk about beyond labels, the first thing comes in mind. What's your passion if you are not at work?
Passion, I have many. I have to see the areas of passion. For example, if it's sports, I love to play few things like table tennis is my passion. Badminton is my passion, right? If I talk of giving back to society, I really love to help the needy people who are having any medical need.
Oh, is it?
Because this country has lot of sad situations from that perspective. I have helped some rickshaw owners who have come from Jharkhand, right, come to Delhi, their wife having cancer and they can't do anything.
Oh,
So I really get lots and lots of pleasure by doing that. Then I also love helping a girl child to get educated at a very younger age. That is another thing from giving back to society perspective, if I say.
so you're associated with any social?
I am not really associated
NGO?
with bigger,
NGOs or something.
NGOs or something. I do it on my own self, wherein there is a direct connection between me and the person affected.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So how do you connect that?
Yes, that is something good. Say, for example, I'll just tell you, my sister-in-law, she lives in Bhimtal, near Nainital. Her maid had a girl child who wanted her child to study but didn't have the means to do that. I was there at her place and this topic came up and I said, I'll help her and put her to the school. And now she goes to some Christian missionary school and I'm anticipating that once she completes 12th, she'll be as good as a normal middle class child.
True.
So that gives me a lot of pleasure. So this is how I connect. Then
That means first the pain comes to you.
Yes.
And then you feel pleasure to help out people.
Yes.
Okay, please continue.
So I have my house where I have a guard guarding my gate. His two girls are there living in Mathura. So I have put both of them to the school.
Oh, okay.
So he feels very happy that my daughters are going to school. And he says, सर वो ना बस हमारे घर के पास आती है
अच्छा
और मेरे बच्चे उस बस में चढ़ के और स्कूल जाते हैं. I can't tell you how much pleasure that
I can understand that. I can understand that.
So this is how I get connected to, because in this country you have a lot of such situations, and you just have to find the right people and the right areas where you can touch the lives of those people. And if you do that directly, that gives you a different pleasure. I'm not saying I am against those bigger NGOs and all that.
Correct.
I'm not. This is my
But
personal.
you feel comfortable maybe,
yes.
and you are convinced what you are doing.
Yes, I'm convinced what I'm doing.
Correct. Understand.
Yeah.
So this kind of passion has been developed in recent times, or it's from a very long time you've been doing it?
No, this has happened in
The
recent times.
Okay.
I'll tell you. But one more passion I will tell you, which is
Yes,
very important.
Please continue.
I am a very fond of science.
Okay.
So the things which intrigue me are how this universe is created. Not from the religious and spiritual perspective. I see it more from the scientific perspective. So Einstein, Stephen Hawking, they are my heroes. I get inspired by them, and I read a lot about it. Black holes, galaxies, these inspire.
So how you must have thought out of the box.
Yes.
And this is happening.
And how did that happen? From a one single molecule, all this had got created. So that I'm very passionate about reading about it. So this is
good.
one passion which
That's
is
really good.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was talking to the question again back. I hope you understood that.
So with all these things which I have told you, wherein our viewers would think that, what a success story this is. I had my share of tragedies in my family. In the last 5 years, I lost my parents. I lost my youngest brother. I lost my special child son. Then I lost my wife too in 2023. So, spate of tragedies happened in my life, and they were very disheartening. I am not saying it could have put anybody into depression or a mood wherein, he would have, I don't know what he could have done. But somehow that inner strength, from where does that come? I really don't know. Is always there. And then I somehow got more attracted towards giving back to the society, which I am telling you that, helping people who are at the hospital and can't afford the treatment, and the girl children, giving them the education so that when they grow up, they can fend for themselves and the family and all that stuff.
True.
So I personally have started believing that we all are here for some period of time.
Yes.
And if we can do good deeds during that lifetime,
why not?
It gives you a different sort of pleasure and satisfaction and heals your wounds.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to come back to you, that it gives you strength also. Right? To heal up your trauma situation as such. But really it's a misery.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's a misery. Yeah. I'm so sorry for the same. Yeah. Well, I don't want to go in details about the whole situation over here, but yes, behind a successful story, there are so many things.
Yeah.
And unless and until people don't talk about it, people won't understand that.
Yes.
So, you're having a big heart, actually.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, you are having a big heart.
Thank you.
God bless you for the same. Dineshji, let's like to do a quick fire rounds with you.
No problems.
Right? I will give you some clue, and you need to talk about a sentence or two or whatever you wish to.
Yeah.
If I talk about happiness, how do you see that?
For me, happiness is by touching the life of have-nots. By touching the life of have-nots. Because I personally believe, if I take an example of food only, I have seen people taking the food on their plate and leaving 25 to 30% of the food as a waste.
Right. Yes.
And there are people in this country who don't eat the food the whole day.
Yes, that's right.
So somehow I believe that when I touch the lives of, in whatever way, either food or giving them education or giving them medical treatment, if I touch their lives and somehow bring happiness in their lives, that gives me inner happiness now.
Okay, good. Any one regret?
Any one regret?
I don't want to say many regrets, but any one regret which you would like to share?
The one regret I have is, frankly, there is no regret, honestly. If I have to say about one regret I have, uh, I could have saved my wife. That is the regret I have.
Can
If I
understand.
would have that power to save my wife.
Can understand.
Yeah.
You are a traveler or a foodie?
Very honestly, if I have to speak in terms of numbers, first would be foodie, second would be traveler, but both.
But both.
But both.
So let's talk about which is your favorite food.
My favorite food is anything tandoori and seafood.
Okay.
A barbecued seafood.
Barbecued.
Barbecued
That's a very
seafood.
specific one. Barbecued.
Yeah, barbecued seafood.
Right. Right. And that also seafood.
Yeah.
So how about when you say traveling, you like to go to specific destinations or
I will say it like this. I love to go to many destinations.
of course.
But the one which I got intrigued when first time I went to Egypt.
Okay.
We have a distributor there. And when I first went to Cairo, I told him, you book my hotel on the Nile.
True.
Because having read in geography and all that during study times, I had read about Nile River a lot.
Yes.
And that was something which used to fascinate me. So I ensured that he booked me my hotel as well as my room, which is facing Nile.
To the Nile River.
Right?
Correct.
And I cannot tell you the experience I had when I first went to Cairo, stood on the bridge on the Nile,
On the Nile.
right? And it has become my favorite destination thereafter.
Oh.
I have been to Egypt, Cairo many a times, gone and seen the Sphinx, gone and seen the pyramids, gone and seen the museums, wherein I have seen one child in the basket, 3,000 years old, mummified.
That mummified, yes. They are very popular for the
Yeah,
mummification. Yeah, correct.
So that is one place which
Good. Great.
fascinates me.
Great. If I talk about to choose between sincerity or honesty,
Honesty, I will choose.
and why is that so?
Because I believe that even being sincere and being dishonest is a less virtue compared to be honest and not sincere.
So you don't want to select both.
I don't want to select both because I can, but otherwise, then I would be, I would be making your question easy,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So if there are two choices and there should be rather this thing, choose one. Then comes the क्या कहते हैं धर्म संकट ना दोनों चूज कर लिए तो आसान हो गया
हमने इसीलिए तो क्वेश्चन किया आपको कि आप धर्म संकट में पढ़ो और एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर दो आप.
तभी मैंने वो उसको चूज किया honesty and this is the reason.
Then in that case, how about faith and religion?
For me, faith is more important.
Faith is more.
Faith is more important than religion because religion makes you little bit more, I don't know the English word, cutter, but faith makes you more pious. This is my belief.
And makes you feel lighter.
Connected with almost people from any religion. If you have faith, you can get connected to any religion without having disrespect for that.
For anything, yeah.
But if you are too religious, I'm not saying it is there with people, but there is a possibility of the people who are very strongly religious can have disrespect for the other religion. But people having faith will not disrespect.
They can be open for any religion.
And they will respect every human being.
Every human being, yes, of course. Your best stress buster?
My best stress buster, going and reading the book on universe.
Understand. And that gives you a lot of...
lots and lots of, as if my BP drops by 5 points. That much cool I become.
So, if I have to ask you between diplomacy and manipulation,
100% diplomacy is better. Manipulation, you have, I think you will ask this question to anybody, he will say diplomacy, but he has to be honest. And I am being honest that I am more into diplomacy.
Correct.
And I believe in diplomacy. I really believe in diplomacy rather than manipulation.
Okay, good. That comes to the last point now.
Yeah.
What do you like to advise to the young generation, young entrepreneurs, young startup people? What do you would like to tell them as a general perspective?
As a general perspective, I will say that whatever you do in life, you should have passion. Very important. You should have passion to do that. You should have knowledge. If you don't have, gain knowledge before entering into it. Knowledge is the key, right? To sincerity, honesty is also a part, maybe required in whatever quantity you want, but it is required. And then, if you want to get into business, you must have complete entrepreneur skills. Because if I talk about my industry, you should treat this as an industry wherein 3 M's are required: money, manpower, machines. And all these 3 things have, being a mechanical engineer, I know, you have everything here. You have inventory management, you have production controls, you have raw materials, you have the accounts and finances. So you have so many areas and departments wherein your value addition is required to be given. And if you don't give a value addition, your control is required. So you should have everything of that sort.
So all aspects are
All
important.
aspects of the industry you should have. So knowledge becomes very, very important.
True.
So passion, knowledge, honesty.
And you said about 3M.
3 M's.
That's a guru mantra for
That's
you.
a guru mantra. Money, manpower, and machines.
Money, manpower, and
Machines.
I'm sure viewers would definitely going to admire this. It's been pleasure talking to you, Dinesh ji.
My pleasure, totally.
And thank you very much for coming to my show.
Thank you, Amit.
And God bless you.
Thank you very much.